Welcome to huevoicesdotcom, the greater reflection of you. I'm Bobby Marvin, and I'm here with Freddie Howard, longtime friend of the late John Murphy III, who has recently passed. How are you, sir?
Oh, fine.
You were, for years now. How many years? Were you friends with John Murphy?
Oh, I'd say we've been good friends for really since about 1941.
1941. Wow.
And, but he's also my cousin.
Mm.
So he's not only my friend, but he's my cousin too. And by working together at the Afro, we became closer but we really came to know each other and become better friends. The weekend we spent in Cooperstown for Sam Lacy's induction to the Baseball Hall of Fame. We spent that weekend up in upstate New York, and we had a wonderful time. Since then, we've always been closer than we were before.
Talk about the work you guys did at the Afro back then and how important it was to particularly the black community.
Well, it was a guiding light for during that area, and we had uh, agreements and disagreements, but it helped to keep the community informed as to what was really happening. I remember when the Afro had its circulation, we used to put papers on the Greyhound bus, and they'd drop them off all little towns all through the South, and had a big chain of papers then.
What was Mr. Murphy like back then? Talk about his work and his relationship with the people.
Well, he's always been a warm person, a person you could approach and talk to, sit down, and he would listen. And he might not agree with you all the time, but he'd let you know that too.
Okay. And you guys seen so much back then, documented so much history back then. And also, you had a good relationship with legendary sports writer Sam Lacy, as you spoke of the three of you guys when he was inducted to the Hall of Fame. Talk about your relationship with Mr. Lacy and Mr. Murphy.
Well, Sam was quite a character. Nothing fazed him, he felt that he couldn't do or get done. And he wouldn't very seldom use a typewriter too much. He'd write most of his copy in longhand, and it was very legible. You could set it just as fast. When I was setting type, you could set it just as fast as you could typewritten copy. But he was straightforward and to the minute, and he knew what he wanted, and he insisted on wanting his material put out the way he wrote it.
Mhm.
And he'd let you know if you were wrong or changed anything in his copy. He was a very close friend too, and a wonderful person.
And Mr. Murphy and Mr. Lacy, would those two go back and forth and have it out? Somebody they both had strong personalities.
Yeah, Sam used to play golf sometime with John, and Sam was a terrific golfer, and he wanted everybody to learn how to play golf. So he and John and George Latier, they used to go out on the golf course and hit the ball around on Saturdays.
What was Mr. Murphy's expectations back then for his staff, for his writers and his editors?
He insisted on doing top-notch stories and getting them right.
Hmm. And he put so much of an emphasis on that because
Because he was to the point he knew what he wanted, and then he insisted on getting the best out of anybody that he dealt with. They had them do the best. It wasn't no halfway job. Do a full job, a good job, and whatever you endeavored on doing.
Mr. Freddie, you think black media is doing a good job?
Oh yeah, it's doing, but we got to concentrate more on printing stories, as the Baltimore Times says, positive stories, bringing back the positive things that blacks are doing rather than going to jail or whatnot, criminal elements. Whenever any organization or church or something is doing very well to uplift the community, it should be the big news rather than somebody knocking somebody in the head and going to jail. There'll always be a place for black journalists. Therefore, they should study, and not only in the newspaper field but the television and the electronics media. They should go right along with the rest of the population. They shouldn't be left behind.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Howard.
Okay, Robert.
And thank you for watching huevoicesdotcom, the greater reflection of you.